I have to wonder if Ob Nixilis, when he realized he couldn't planeswalk again, just went, this is my Ob Nixilis Captive Kingpin deck that I call the Racketeer. This thing is actually a lot of fun to play. I've already gone through a lot of it already. But let's take a look here. Ob Nixilis Captive Kingpin, for 2, a black and a red, you get a 4/3 demon with flying and trample that says whenever one or more opponents each lose exactly 1 life, put a 1/1 counter on Ob Nixilis. Exile the top card of your library until the end of your next end step. You can play that card. So the best time to do any kind of these damage tricks for 1 is actually on your opponent's turn, so you have time to cast the spells that come off of it. So you have to be careful because sometimes you can actually accidentally exile the stuff on your own turn and then you lose that for the rest of the game. So the deck is broke down how I usually do it. We have a protection column. I have Swiftfoot Boost for hexproof, ways to make him indestructible, or ways to, he'll die and he'll come back. That's not ideal because you'll lose all the counters off of him, but it's the best we can really do in black and red. We have removal spells. Gearhulk, Burn Down the House kind of serves a double purpose here, where we get Devils, which can also deal 1 damage to our opponent to make Ob Nixilis bigger. Burn Down the House can also sweep the board. We have our Mana Rocks. Sacrifice on Demand column with things like Ashnod's Altar and Woe Strider. We have the Cat Oven combo in here with Witch's Oven. Next column's all my card draw spells. Usually it's either a sacrifice draw effect or an impulse discard draw 2 type effect, and we get treasures to sacrifice as well. And then moving down the screen here, we have what I call, these are the things that deal 1 damage. The first column with mostly red cards in it are things that deal a damage as we're just playing the game. Basically, you play a creature, it deals a damage. If it dies, does a damage. If you cast spells of a certain kind, they deal damage. If things die again, damage. Sacrificing deals damage. Playing spells makes them lose life. That actually should be in this column. Spawn of Mayhem triggers every upkeep. Psychosis Crawler should also be over here. Sir Conrad the Grim deals damage when your stuff dies or when you mill things into the graveyard. So that's like the damage dealers. Then this column here is things that lose life. So things like Cauldron Familiar, as mentioned. Keep a Reckoner Raid. If you have Ob Nixilis down and it goes off both times, there's 2 counters and 2 life. Conquistador, you swing with it. They lose a life on the swing, and then if it makes contact, they lose another life, and then you get another counter on Ob Nixilis. Warlock class will do it every turn. If they've lost life, you'll get an additional ping. Blood Artists, Zulaport Cutthroats, Bastion of Remembrance. These are things that when things die, they lose 1 life at a time, and every time that triggers, Ob Nixilis grows. We got Ayara, First of Locthwain. When you cast a black, or whenever another black creature enters the battlefield, you can go ahead and ping them. What's nice is to play Ayara and then play Ob Nixilis. You'll get a counter right away on Ob Nixilis. Bantu's Monument, which was in the other column by accident, cheapens our black spells, but it also makes it so whenever you cast a spell, they're going to lose a life. So if you have Ob down and then you just start chaining spell casts of creatures, he's going to grow really quick. Falconwrath Noble's another pinger on death. Psychosis Crawler, which again was in the wrong column a second ago. They lose a life whenever you draw a card. So if you do any of your Corrupted Convictions and that kind of stuff, and you're drawing extra cards, they're going to take extra pings, and it's going to make Ob grow much faster. And then we have the Meathook Massacre, which if you do it right, you can actually, nuke a bunch of your stuff and their stuff off the board. Ob will survive, and then everything that you have that dies, you can just start chaining 1 ping at a time, and that is going to actually help him grow and then swing for a big chunk of damage on top of whatever damage they've lost just from this triggering. And then we have what I would call the best of the rest type stuff. Shambling Ghast, Voldaren Bloodcaster, Blood Tithe Harvester, things to make treasures and blood tokens. Fable the Mirror Breaker, because it's Fable of the Mirror Breaker and it's really good. Professional Facebreaker makes treasures. Ob Nixilis the Adversary, because it's on theme, it makes Devil's Force, it makes them lose life. If they don't discard cards for us, we can gain a little life off of it. And then Goldspan Dragon, because we're going to try to push our treasures a little bit harder to get things going. And then the last column before the lands is some new stuff that I've never really messed with before. I decided to go ahead and throw it in the deck for various reasons. We have Ayara, Widow of the Realm. You don't want to flip this over. The idea behind Ayara is a fling effect. So if somebody decides to kill Ob Nixilis after it's gotten bigger than they can handle, well, you just tap her and throw it at their head instead. Voldaren Thrillseeker, same concept. You play this, Ob's big. You swing with Ob, you hit them, and then you pay 1 and fling it at their head, and you basically just deal double damage to them and probably kill them. And then the last thing is all will be won from for actually all will be one. 3 red enchantment. Whenever you put one or more counters on a permanent player, this will deal damage to an opponent. And then what it does is you go, okay, Ob gets a counter, this will deal 1 damage. Ob gets a counter, this will deal 1 damage, and it just goes until they die. Now, in the gameplay footage, I did not draw this combo. Your note, I do not have any tutor effects in this deck because I don't want it to be complete and utter cheese and play the same way every time. Well, you get a tutor, you win. I don't want that. What I want is just, if I get it, cool, great. It's just a fun little I win on the button spot. But otherwise, I don't have a tutor to go get it out of the deck. I have to draw it. And then the basic land packages that I usually use for black-red. That's the deck. Let's get into the gameplay, and I'll talk to you guys after. Kykar wins Fury. All right, let's see what we got here. We'll try it. So far, this deck's not been, like, spectacular. Like, it's nowhere near as fun as the Calyx deck I just got done playing. I don't know. I don't know if it's just the combination. I was excited to build Ob Nixilis, and it's like kind of, it's all right. It's nothing to write home about. I went ahead and cast Diara since her activated ability has Summoning Sickness. Oh, stupid fat finger again. Alright, there's red. Let's do Ob Nixilis. And we'll pass the turn. If they decide to try to kill Ob Nixilis, I can fling it at them. Which is more damage than Iara just sitting there and hitting them. Okay, they're just gonna play Bergie. Use a Bergie. That's a treasure. Okay. Couldn't tell what kind of token that was, if it was a clue or what. I wasn't paying attention to what was going on with it. Alright. That's just not right. Alright, so Mayhem Devil. And we're gonna... Actually, not passing nothing. We're gonna swing with Ob. Alright. So here's the thing. If they don't blow up the Mayhem Devil or Ob Nixilis this turn, or counter the All Would Be One when I cast it, they die. Because all I gotta do then is drop All Would Be One and the Fabled Passage, sack the passage, and the Mayhem Devil kicks off the infinite loop. And that would be all she wrote. Yep. Sack. Plank. I'm an idiot. I didn't cast the All Will Be One first. God, I'm so stupid. Okay. It's okay. It's alright. It's fine. View. I'll get a red. Got excited and I overdid it. It's alright. Let's drop Sir Conrad. Next. I didn't have another creature to do it. If I would have, I had like another little creature, I could have kicked it off that way. It's okay. Because what we can do is use Iara to sacrifice. Oh, excuse me, but sneeze. Sacrifice Sir Conrad to kick the trigger off. But that was a big screw up. If I lose here, I deserve it, because I just was not paying attention. And that's fine. If I just need a one life loss trigger to go off, and Conrad can be the trigger. kind of blame myself for not practicing this deck before I decided to go ahead and just start recording. I do better with decks when I actually have a chance to get a feel, and I don't have a feel for this deck yet. How does she work? So what are they doing? They're lightning bolting her. Sacrifice another creature. Okay, that's fine. I'm not worried about it. So what I need now is a mana to come off the top. That'll work too, because I can play that and then activate Sir Conrad, and if as long as I hit a creature off of one of the two decks, the trigger goes off. We're just doing this the very long and difficult way. Wow. Why am I getting the stupid thing? It's not even my stuff doing it. I mean, that's cool. You want to just drain yourself and make bigger and bigger and bigger and give me like a bunch of pseudo draw. Kind of makes me glad I have the LB1 in hand. I mean, we shouldn't have gotten this far if I wouldn't have been a screw up, but live and learn. You get to do you get to go, okay, I'm not going to do what that dumbass did. They might just go off and win right here. I don't know. I'm kind of glad it's Sir Conrad though, because I would get seriously annoyed if I'm just sitting here going poke, poke, poke with the stupid targeting on the Falconwrath Noble. Quit giving me a rope. I'm not the one doing all this stuff. I'm just sitting here twiddling my freaking thumbs. I can't even cast anything right now. But I see what they did. They had to get rid of the Mayhem Devil because otherwise it would have just pinged them to death. Okay, they're going to search for something that's probably going to just make me cry at this point. Because they got, what, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, 8 mana available. Showdown, which, whatever. They're going to try to keep chaining it. Duplimancy, okay. Tithe. So they're tutoring for a bunch of enchantments, and it's just like, okay. Again, if I lose this, my fault. Utterly my fault. This should have been done before we ever got this far. We should have already been in another game. Well, let's see what they do here. They still have 8 mana available to them with the 4 treasures, a floating mana off of Bergie, and then 3 spirits they can sack to Kykar. Bling bling. They're being a little more circumspect. They made sure they didn't sacrifice that other spirit. Okay, that's a faithless looting. I was like, oh god, is that a grape shot? I had to think about the art on the. It's not the grape shot. Oh, they fizzled out. Oh, it's a big odd Nixilis, thanks to them. Go-Shintai. All right, let's see what we got. This actually isn't too bad. This is actually a good opening hand for this. Especially with the fire breather, or flame breather, excuse me. we'll go ahead and just get started on chipping away at their life total. Double black's good because then we can play Ayara on 3. Because basically the whole point why she's in the deck, along with the Voldaren Thrill Seeker. I'm going to go ahead and play this turn. That changes my plans a little bit. We'll keep some mana on top. Because I can pitch something if I need to. Is that... I just lost my train of thought. Crap. I want to be able to cast Nixilis on curve, was where my brain was going. Let's go ahead and drop Ayara. If they counter it, okay. They had something there, because the system held it up. I just don't know what they had. Alright. Let's get Ob online. And I'm just gonna swing with this. We'll keep Ayara alive, so if they decide they want to try to just smash Ob, I can throw it at them, and that's more damage. Okay. And that's okay. I'm fine with that. Resolve, my turn. Draw. Resolve. Yeah, I don't care. At this point, I don't care. Alright, let's get down the Kessig Flame Breather. And then let's go ahead and swing with these two. And we'll end the turn. So I might pop the blood, drop the mountain, dig a little deeper. We could fling Ob. I could feign death before I fling Ob. So let's see what they do with that Calyx.
I am born of Nyx, child of the stars.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to feign death. He's going to get a couple bits there. And then I'm going to fling Ob at their head. It'll come back. Or actually, no, I screwed that up. They scooped anyways, but I goofed that. I should have let it go to the graveyard, because if I put it back to command, it won't come back. The game will lose track of the spell effect. So bear that in mind if you ever do that kind of thing. Sorin, Imperious, Bloodlord. Alright, we got vampires coming for us. I'm just now realizing I didn't change my avatar when I put this deck together. I probably should do that. Or actually, it might not have saved. I thought I had saved to this. We'll keep this. Because it kept my sleeve save, but it might have glitched back. Alright, we're going to cast the Bloodcaster for now. I wish we would have got the red so I could do the Stormfist Crusader. Wow, we've still not drawn a red. That's nuts. Alright, well, we got a Sanguine Brushstroke. We're going to go ahead and attack. I mean, we're okay, but we really need some red mana, or this is just going to get ugly. Because right now they can -3 that thing and drop something pretty ugly. Yeah, I can't even punch through that thing. Not blocking. Hey, there's some red mana if I click the right side of it. So this becomes a question. Do I do Witty Roastmaster or Kessig Flame Breather? I'm pretty sure it's the Roastmaster that we want, because then everything I cast after this will deal a damage. So with Ob on the board, it makes that even more dangerous. We just need more red mana to chain cast stuff. We're going to impulse this out. I'm going to get rid of the Flame Breather, because I don't have enough stuff to really get that to trigger. And I want to dig... There we go. I wanted to dig a little deeper. So if we do that, that would trigger Village Rites. I'm just trying to figure out a way to wipe their board, but I'm not sure how to get that to work. Okay. Probably should have done that before I played the land, but that's okay. Alright, we're just gonna sit back for right now and end the turn. We do have Village Rites, so we can, you know, sacrifice something if they're gonna go for a kill. We're, I think, one. Yeah, we're 1 damage away from actually doing something. Or 1 mana away. Okay. I mean, you sack something, you can lose a life, he'll get a little bigger. Resolve. It's fine, because I'm afraid they're going to try to kill something else. This also gives us the option to cycle the blood token, too. Well, there's a land. It's just it's a tapped land. I mean, go ahead and keep sacking stuff. I'm okay with that, because Ob just keeps growing. And he tramples, so I'm not that overly concerned. Yeah, it's like, you keep cycling, you just keep juggling your creatures, and Ob's just like, yeah, come on, bring it. Vorinclex. And I still haven't fixed my freaking avatar, because I'm a nitwit. No. That's a little better. Let's drop this on red. And we'll keep the red mana on top, because we need to get to 4. Let's go with a black. Let's drop the electrostatic field. That way, if they play something, they can't fight it as easily and kill it. And we'll drop that. We'll go with the cutthroat. And then we'll just pass. Because that way, we have the ability to use armor if I need to. So next turn is going to be Ob Nixilis. And then I'll swing with the Cutthroat, which will put a counter on Ob. So he'll be a 5/4. And then next turn, Hellrider can come down if they don't have anything big enough to kill it or the Zulaport. Actually, I could probably do the Hellrider and still swing because I have the Armor of Shadows. Okay. So let's go for it. That's 3 triggers. Ob's going to grow 3 times and give me 3 cards. Next. We'll do that. Field will ping. He'll get a little bigger. Cutthroat will hit. It'll get a little bigger. Ooh, all the way down to 1. Ouch. This is the Claw of Progress. This will be my 3rd time playing against this, and the other 2 times did not turn out very well for me. So pray for me, because it's not good. That deck is kind of messed up. To which I think I will create it for the channel eventually. Just, it's a yikes. Yeah, we're gonna throw that down. I know I love that card, but we need mana. I need to get to 4 mana quickly. Yeah, this is the 1 mana, make a bunch of unblockable crap. And just put counters everywhere and smash your face. I've played against this, like I said, 3 times now, and the deck is built almost always the same way. It's pretty, gross. This at least keeps Pelt Collector from swinging this turn. Okay, we're gonna zap. Because we can do that. Alright, they have 2 mana open. What's the odds they have a counterspell? I would probably put it at probably about an 85% chance. Wow. Okay, never mind. They actually are struggling for mana right now. So our only hope is that they keep struggling for mana, I think. Alright, we're gonna activate this. Ob's gonna get bigger. It'll exile a card for us to cast to the end of the next turn. Well, hey, it's a land. We'll take it. Let's see here. Let's do Psychosis Crawler. And then we'll go ahead and swing with that. Because they can run the Siren Storm Tamer over. And that gives me Armor of Shadows and Village Rites to work with. Alright. So they've tapped that for mana because they are struggling hard on mana. And I'm going to keep Gear Hulk at the ready, I think, because I think I'm going to need to blow Ezuri up as soon as it hits the board. So we're not going to use the mana on Village Rites or anything. Alright, so we'll play the land that got exiled. Oh, we got 2 lands that got exiled. Never mind. Okay. So they have a green open. What do we do with that? I think I'm gonna do this. Nope, nothing that I can use right now. I guess let's just swing. Because they gotta block some. They have to block at least one of the bigger things. Alright, that gives us another thing there. Let's do... Just trying to figure out what to do there. Let's do a Bloodcaster. Because we have the mana to do it. And we'll end the turn. I was going to do Ob Nixilis the Adversary, but that just leaves it open to getting hit by a bunch of little stuff if they want to hit it. I mean, they can't because they'll die. I mean, Ob himself represents death, so... Alright, so they're going to bounce Ob Nixilis. They have no choice. They have to bounce him. And that's fine. It can go back to my hand. Alright, my turn. They're going to lose a life. Now, I'm trying to think if there is a way... If I play the Gear Hulk, kill the Storm Tamer, hit for 2 in the air, 3, Village Rites, Psychosis Crawler kills them. Okay, that'll work. So let's go ahead. Actually, let's use the Dark Writ. We'll activate this in response. That way we have the extra damage. We'll use that to cast the Noxious Gear Hulk. Kill the Storm Tamer, yes. Next, swing in the air with this. They go to 1. I don't even have to cast the spell. I just tap this and good game. Hey, it worked out. Kenrith. Oh boy. That's never a good commander to come up against. It's always just bad. Because, seriously, there's only one way to build that commander, and it's 5-color good stuff. Yeah, I want to play the Ghast on 1. I don't have a red 2-drop right now, so I'm not that concerned about the Ridge coming down. It wouldn't have mattered anyways. I could have done that. So let's do this, and let's just go ahead and drop the Blood Artist. We'll get our little guys going. probably going to drop the Crypt tapped next turn, unless I get a red drop that requires it, because I'll have the 2 mana available for the Deadly Dispute. But even then, I might not cast that Dispute right away. Alright, we'll just let that enter tap. I don't need to hit myself. We're killing this, though. Discard a card. We'll discard the Swamp. They'll get hit again for 1. And then, no, don't need to swing you. Because they have white. If they have something that says destroy target tapped creature or exile target tapped creature, I don't want the Bloodlord tapped. There's a lot of that kind of stuff in the game these days. Black Cleave is bad though. Let's try Ob. Okay. Poke. Ob grows. I lose my Spawn of Mayhem, but that's alright. There's Kenrith. Alright. Play the Cliffs. Humsies, what does he do again? Haste, counter, draws, return from graveyard. Okay. Let's do... Let's do a big score. We'll discard the Thermal Alchemist. I'd rather have the card draw. Okay. We'll go ahead and swing with Ob. And I'll keep the Deadly Dispute open. Because if I need to do like a block and sack or something of that nature, I can. Because now they got Kenrith. I'm expecting Golos. I'm expecting Joda. There's all kinds of things I'm looking for this deck to come throwing at us. Trustoni, okay. Alrighty. Oh, they just went to the end step. Let's go ahead and Deadly Dispute. We'll sack the Shambling Ghast, and I'll just recreate a treasure. And we'll get the treasure. So it's basically a free spell for the most part. Alright, so we get the Blightstep Pathway. We'll go ahead and play that on a red. We'll do Electrostatic Field, Firebrand Archer, Fable of the Mirror Breaker. We're just chaining spells. Alright, that pulled a land off the top, which is fine by me, because that's one less land I gotta contend with. Alright, so they have to kill Ob this turn, and it cannot be a board wipe, because if it's a board wipe, they will die to the Blood Artist. So, they gotta come up with something good here, or they're gonna die.
My strength is our strength.
I don't think that's the answer. Color me crazy. Yeah, we'll be discarding some cards. Because useless lands are useless. Okay. Ooh, okay. Epicure gets us a card and does a damage. We can drop the boots to do damage, to do a card too. Alright, let's see if they have a removal spell. No. Okay, well. Here I come to smash your face. Let's see, is there any way for me to commit an extra damage to this? Let's sack the blood. Yes, there is. Actually, I got enough to do 3 extra damage. Who knew black had lightning bolt? Whoops. It's Kethis, the Hidden Hand. I haven't seen that one in probably about 2 years. That hand is actually ain't much better, but I think it's a little better. We'll play the Fiend. I kind of like to keep Epicure around because I can chain the casts. Like if I want to, I can, if they have like a blocker for my hit, I can actually just do Epicure into the spawn or something like that. Oh, there's Crux of Fate. I might need to keep back for that. We'll hold off. Because they're getting a decent setup going, and I think I'd rather just nuke the board in a couple of turns. You do realize I'm going to smash Skrull if you do that, right? Yeah, I'll just block Skrull. It's a big fat whatever. Alright. Play this on red. Not casting anything. I want them to cast out a bunch of stuff this turn so I can Crux of Fate the board away. Because if I reset the board, then I filled my side up. That's a better deal. Of course, they're not really casting anything either. Ugh, it's annoying. Alright, let's play Ob. So I can do Corrupted Conviction if I need to. They have a removal spell because the game just hung up. I would bet anything they have that. Unless they have a Corrupted Conviction or another type of sacrifice draw spell. But something held priority. It's Kogla. Okay. That's fine. I'm actually kind of glad I waited. It can go back to the command zone. That's fine. So now I can Crux and take out much more non-dragons. Alright, so Kethis is back down. So they have to exile things to play that out of their graveyard. I'm going to go ahead and play Psychosis Crawler. So this one is Sacker Creature. Okay. I thought about playing Eaten Alive, but I'm gonna do the Crawler because it's big enough that it's pretty good. And if they sit there and try to exile stuff and replay Kogla to fight the Crawler, then I can just Eaten Alive the Kogla. And I think I'm gonna smash that though. Probably do the Epicure. Oh, they got Skrulls back. Okay. I thought they would get Kogla back to kill the Crawler, but that's all right. Yeah, you can't give protection against artifacts or hexproof or whatever. What? I smell a rat. No, that doesn't work. It's colorless. And that's not white, but thanks for trying. I was very confused there. All right. So I don't need to do the Epicure to drop that, but that takes up all my mana. Let's drop The Spawn of Mayhem with the Spectacle. I actually want to drop this so I can actually kill the Surak. We'll sack a creature, kill Surak. They're not gonna fall for the oops they just caused again, so we might as well go ahead and just punch them for 3. Blood money, you say? Okay. We'll keep the blood around. I don't really need it just this moment. Let's go ahead and play Ayara. And we'll do Falconwrath Noble as well. So that's a couple more dings. And we get some life back for it. And if they have another board wipe, well, we'll gain a couple more life. And otherwise, we can do Nixilis next turn. I'll have Ayara alive to sack him if they have a removal spell for him. Citadel, that's dangerous. Vraska can just turn my stuff into treasures, which is really annoying. That's alright. I'm gonna punch Vraska in the face with the Falconwrath Noble. Brick, please. So what does this do? Sacrifice 10 non-land permanents. Alright. Well, first things first. Vraska, go away. Then I'm going to play this. And then I'm going to play this. Because that makes it so I can actually hit them. And if I have to, I can always sack the Treasure Ayara to pop this and go get a card off of it. So right now, we technically have 5, 6... I'm just trying to think of how much damage we have available to us swinging through with Nixilis. We have 1, technically 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know if I have enough to kill them or not. Alright. Let's swing. They don't have a mana for like a exile on an attack type thing. So Ob's gonna get bigger by 1. The Thrill Seeker would do it for us. But then again, so would the Deadly Dispute. Alright, so we're going to Deadly Dispute. We're going to sack the Conquistador. Falconwrath Noble will do an additional 1, and that'll make Ob bigger, and that puts them down to 7 anyways. So that's fun. I love this deck. It just does dumb stuff. So what did you guys think? I hope you really enjoyed the deck. Now, I already did make some tweaks to this from the original build that I had, and I discussed them in one of the videos. I don't know if it ever made it in or not. I can't remember if I was going to put that one in the video or not. But I did take out things like Oni Cult Anvil and a few things like that because they just weren't consistent. I don't have enough treasures, blood, and food to sacrifice to the thing. And, you know, it's just not any ways to get it to consistently trigger off every single turn. So it was kind of dragging the deck down because you can't just sit there and wait for it and go, okay, I'm going to do it now. You got to keep churning out the damage in order to take advantage of Nixilis' exile effect to get you more cards and to make him bigger and kill your opponents. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you think I should have played something differently in this deck, or what if I missed something that I probably should have been playing in the deck. I would love to know that as well. And as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.